Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to read an article entitled "Who is bullying who in the South China Sea?" The United States and China are accusing each other of bullying in South China Sea. The epithet is being thrown around rather loosely, but there is some truth to these mutual accusations. Bullying is a practice of influencing another party to do something it does not want to do by using threats or actual force. Synonyms include coercions and intimidations. All states have a legal duty to refrain in their international relations from military, political, economic, or any other form of coercion aimed against the political independence or territorial integrity of any state. Coercion rising to a threat to use force against the territorial of peace and security of any state would be a direct violation of the UN Charter. On 21st July 2019, the US State Department released a statement accusing China of bullying some Southeast Asian countries and threatening regional energy security by blocking their access to unexploited hydrocarbon resources. China has also been undertaking marine scientific research in Vietnam, legitimate exclusive economic zone or EEZ, in spite of Vietnam's protests. According to U.S. State Department spokesperson Morgan Ortagus, the actions of the survey vessel are an escalation by Beijing in its effort to intimidate other claimants out of developing resources in the South China Sea. Having Coast Guard and purport maritime militia vessels accompany the government research ship gives the impression that China is using threats of use of force to back up its illegal incursions. Australia Prime Minister Scott Morrison joined the chorus, urging China's neighbors to resist coercion. China has a history intimidating both states and their contracted international oil companies to cease operations in areas that fall within its discredited 9-days line. Both Vietnam and the Philippines have accused China of interfering with petroleum exploration in the EEZs. These incidents are also being considered in the context of China's other recent aggressive behavior, like its seizure of Scarborough Shoal and its massing of fishing boats near contested features occupied by the Philippines. If there were any doubt that China has threatened to use force in the maritime dispute, in May 2017, President Rodrigo Duterte of the Philippines claimed that China has threatened war if the Philippines tried to implement its arbitration victory against China by drilling for oil in areas claimed by China. It will be appear that China has engaged in bullying. What about the United States? On 29 August, after the most recent U.S. Freedom of Navigation operation, or FONOP, China accused the United States of bullying and asserting maritime hegemony. U.S. FONOPs challenged China's territorial and jurisdiction claim with warship and warplanes. They are often referred to by critics as gunboat diplomacy, given that U.S. FONOPs have been directed against the claim of almost all South China Sea coastal countries. This perception is not confined to China. In March 2018, the USS Carl Vinson Strike Force was deployed to the South China Sea. Its missions include demonstration of freedom navigation, presumably in the face of perceived threats. In other words, one intention was to convince China not to interfere interfere with the free navigation of warship and to rescue China's claims that the United States consider inconsistent with the UN Conventions of the Law of the Sea or UNCLOS. Was this deployment of one of the most powerful symbols of US military power with the intent of making China change its policy an example of a threat that violates the UN Charter? It is hard to know definitively. The United States has not ratified UNCLOS and cannot be brought before or avail itself of its dispute settlement mechanism. That may be one reason why it used gunboat diplomacy instead. No country should acquiesce to jurisdictional claim that is considered disadvantageous or illegal, but non-acquiescence can effectively be demonstrated by written statement and diplomatic communication instead of gunboat. The diplomatic option seems to be sufficient for other nations, including maritime powers whose rights the United States claims to be protecting. So both China and the United States are bullying smaller Southeast Asian countries. The United States is also bullying China, at least in China's eyes. This bait of bullying is part and parcel of the US-China struggle for military, economic, and political dominance in the region. But as Singapore's Defense Minister Eng Han observes, the challenge for United States and China is to offer acceptance of their dominance beyond military might. If their policies are lopsided against other countries' interests, these countries will seek other partners. Malaysia, Indonesia, and the Philippines have also expressed concern with US projection of power and other unwelcome actions in the region. Yet bullying is a part of history of international relations. As Turkish side supposedly put it, the strong to do what they can, the weak suffer what they must. Bullying begets bullying, and it will continue despite the national law and pontification and promise to the contrary. Meanwhile, for China and the United States, it seems wise to heed the advice that those who live in glass houses should not throw stones. So that's all the article. Bye bye and see you on my next video.